Hello, and welcome to Coffee on Korriban Live. Today we got a pretty good show for you guys. We are going to do kind of some what-if scenarios in Star Wars. Like, for example, what if Obi-Wan lost his lightsaber in the very beginning of the battle with Darth Maul in Episode 1? Things like that, just really random things, and we're going to cut them up with some situations together. But my guest today is Xwing, and I don't know if you guys are subscribed to Xwing. If you are not, you really, really need to. He does some amazing live streams, and the community that we're growing over there, that he's growing over there, is really something special. So if you are not subscribed to Xwing, then you absolutely need to do that. And I will I'm going to put his link in the description so you guys can go ahead and follow him. Link address. If you're not subscribed to him, go follow. I think that's him. Anyway, Average. What is up, Average? One of my day ones. Happy to see you here, and here is a sip for you. So I just got this PC set up. I've never had a PC before. Never had any kind of computer before. So I just kind of threw this all together tonight. So hopefully everything's running smooth. If it's not, then definitely let me know. Just subbed to Xwing, I'm assuming you mean. That's funny. Nice. Well, I'm happy you guys are here. Star Wars Obsession. This is a sip for you. And yeah, we're going to get into it in just a little bit. We're waiting on Xwing, and he's probably getting some coffee or something. But you can't be on Korriban without coffee, unless it's, I don't know, something else in your beverage. I've had tea on Korriban before, if you guys remember those videos when I was sick. But Anthony, YouTube fan. Hello, Thrawn's alter ego. Well, Anthony, YouTube fan, this is a sip for you. Welcome to the stream. And of course, I can go into Grand Admiral Thrawn whenever I'd like. All right, well, without further ado, we have Xwing here. And if you guys do not, again, know Xwing, what are you doing? But here he is. Xwing, how are you doing, sir?
What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. You can hear me good?
Oh, yeah. No, dude, you looking crispy.
Awesome. I'm new to all of this kind of thing, and I just kind of threw this PC setup together. I've never had a computer before, so just threw it all together tonight. So
we sound similar. Still flying by the seat of my pants. So
yes, and that's something we were talking about the other day in that creator chat, is just those little small increments of improvements. Video by video, eventually you're going to get there.
Yeah,
and it doesn't have to be 100% on day one. So.
No, yeah, and I mean that's something I said early on was damn imperfection, and unfortunately now I'm kind of starting to feel it again. I'm feeling a resurgence of like, things need to be more perfect when they don't. If people want to hang out with you, they're going to hang out with you. Just like if I wanted to hang out with you, I'd be here, and I'm here. So
yeah, exactly. And I totally appreciate you coming on, and you were willing to show me the ropes on StreamYard and stuff. We didn't really get the chance to go through it today, but just the fact that you're willing to help is huge. And that's one of the things we'll get into a little bit later on my show notes, is just, ways to grow the community. And I think just that being willing to reach out to other people and share advice and just come alongside people is huge in that, because we all need each other.
Yeah, it's interesting. I found there's kind of been, and I mean, I don't want to get too, into the weeds on anything like this, but it certainly seems like there's definitely an interesting dynamic in YouTube where people kind of want to guard their secrets or like hide what they do or how they do it to make sure the other person can't be successful, which just seems asinine to me. Like,
completely. Yeah, I completely agree. And I've seen channels like that where their whole brand is basically built on, no, look at me, don't watch those other guys, you need to check out my channel. And that's just not productive for anyone. You're not going to get anywhere. You're just going to tear other people down and make people distrust your whole type of fandom. It's not going to really go anywhere. You
said it best. And by the way, thank you so much for that birthday shout out. That was awesome. He said a rising tide. What'd you say? Rising tide?
A rising tide raises all ships. Just if the whole sea comes up together, which in this case is just the YouTube community, then we're all going to get there. I mean, just a month ago didn't ever dream I would hit 500. I've been stuck at, just around 400 for so long. And I tell people this all the time. I have 500 subscribers, but not nearly that many people watch my videos because I've collected subscribers for years and years, back when I used to do acrobatics and parkour, to my like semi-professional disc golf career. You probably saw the disc golf video with me and Coach.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that hole-in-one was insane.
Thank you. Yeah, that was my first one in about 2 years. That was my 7th overall, my first one on film. So
I want to come try that one of these days.
Dude, if you're ever in Tennessee, let me know, because we'll play some courses here.
That sounds fun.
So, yeah. But, I've gotten so many subscribers over the years, and I feel like a lot of those people don't watch the videos, because I'll post a video. If I don't share it or anything, I'll get maybe 30 views, which isn't very good engagement ratio for how many subscribers. Right. But, with all my consistent Star Wars videos, I'm trying to put those out consistently. And I feel like a lot of new subscribers are going to be the ones watching the videos consistently. Right. And who's to say when I hit 5,000 subscribers that, those 400 subscribers that don't watch my videos, that's not really going to matter as much.
Dude, could you imagine having 5,000 subscribers?
I couldn't even imagine 500 subscribers just, a little while ago. And now I'm here and you with passing 700. And dude, that's huge. And how long since your channel started?
It was about 3 months ago. Dang,
that is really impressive. And I'm pretty sure you're going to hit 1,000 fairly quickly. And, let's say that puts you 4 or 5 months since creation of your channel. That's really impressive.
That'd be really cool, man. Yeah, dude. But I think, the most important thing is that that's not really what, it's tough because it's cool because it's a landmark and it's fun to get there. But it's really never been the point of the channel. But I think for everybody, it's kind of a community goal for us to get there, because we're like, hell yeah, we did it. Like, we did it. Right. You know what I mean? I don't know how else to say it.
Yeah, and it just goes back to the community. And, I wouldn't have even been motivated to start making Star Wars videos if it wasn't for Echo Base Network. And it's been something I've been talking about for a while with other friends of mine that are into Star Wars. Like, dude, let's make a Star Wars channel, or let's, just make some videos talking about stuff. Because, not to get views or anything, because you can't go into YouTube with the mindset of I'm getting an audience. You just make stuff to make stuff. And I've said that so many times in my videos. I make videos for me because I enjoy it. And if other people like my videos along the way, awesome.
Yeah. No, and that's the way to do it. And it's something that I've said, Mrs. Xwing asked me about, like, well, what can you do to increase this? Or what else can you do to increase that? Right. And it's like, I think if people want to be here, they'll be here.
Right, exactly. And that's why later in the show, I worded it, how can we grow this community, rather than how can we grow our subscriber base, or, how can we make money off of YouTube? Because that's not the goal. I don't want that to be the goal.
It'd be super cool if it did happen.
Absolutely, it would.
I mean, you can't like none of us, everybody in all of our community would ever bash anybody for being like, I think it'd be awesome if I could talk about Star Wars all day and make money.
Right.
I don't think anybody has a problem with that. You know what I mean?
That's the dream. And, some people are living that dream, and great to them. And especially when they help other people achieve that dream, that's really cool. And then you see the other channels that don't do that. They have their subscribers, and, absolute power corrupts absolutely. And when they get a certain number, it goes to their head, and it's all about the numbers for them. Star Wars Obsession. Oh, go ahead real quick.
Star Wars Meg. She's a good one. She's somebody who's gotten big, and you can tell it has not gotten her head. She's still such a sweetheart.
Yeah, I've heard the name. There's a lot of channels I still have yet to check out. That's one of them. The Star Wars Obsession.
For like news. Oh, sorry.
I was going to say the Star Wars Obsession says, what kind of coffee do you drink? This is Sam's Club French roast. Just bulk coffee. It's decent for how cheap it is, but it's nothing super special.
You can highlight it, man. If you just click on their comment, it'll pull it up on screen. Yeah.
That's right. All right, there we go. Star Wars Obsession. Thank you for being here. Then we also got Darth Weavin.
Weavin. Don't call him Weavin. He's going to get pissed off.
Is it Weavin?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. There we go. I'm just here for the stash, bro. Well, I really appreciate that.
Not going to lie. That's the only reason I came here as well.
The stash is new for me. It's only maybe the last 3 weeks I've had this.
Seriously?
Yeah, this is not a usual thing for me, but I think it will be. That's
Dude, yeah, no, it's part of your persona
the
now.
amount of comments I get in public in stores and stuff is unreal.
People love a good stash. People love a good stash.
Complimented this much in my life. It's pretty incredible. Anyway, Darth Weavin. It is Weavin, right?
Weavin.
All right, Darth Weavin, this is a sip for you. Solonic is here as well. It's not Solanic, right?
No, it's Solonic.
All right, well, here's a sip for you.
Bonjour, monsieur. Comment allez-vous?
I don't speak that. Star Wars Obsession, I'm going to send you some coffee. We roast. Let's talk soon. Absolutely. That would be super down.
That'd be awesome.
Really nice. Also. Awesome. Anyway, I guess we just kind of got into discussion, but I was going to give you an opportunity to introduce yourself in case anyone doesn't know you. I don't really know you all that well, so kind of tell us about yourself.
I'm Xwing on YouTube. I'm really bad at this, to be honest with you. People say like plug yourself and do stuff, and I feel it's almost like you know when like your aunt gives you money for your birthday and you're like I don't want to take it, but like thank you, like,
especially when it's like $100 or something.
Yeah, you're like and you just kind of feel like embarrassed almost. Yeah. That's what I feel like when people are like plug yourself, tell who you are. But yeah, I'm a Star Wars nerd. I work in HVAC and refrigeration for a living, but this is really what I love. So every opportunity I can outside of work, sometimes to the detriment of poor Mrs. Xwing and I's relationship, I spend a lot of time on YouTube talking about Star Wars, and I love it. And that's me.
Yeah. Well, I can get you. I understand you on that. The missus not being super hyped about it, but I'm really stoked that my wife actually does enjoy Star Wars with me.
Yeah,
she's been watching every episode of the Bad Batch with me, and I mean, you've probably seen the discussion videos where she joins me and we talk about it and stuff. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm really blessed in that regard.
Yeah, Mrs. Xwing isn't a huge Star Wars fan, but she's massively supportive of it. So she's been giving me a gift every day for 30 days until I turn 30. That's and I've gotten so much good Star Wars stuff out of it. I've gotten like Lego sets and an AT-AT I can build and all kinds of cool stuff. So
that's so cool.
Yeah.
That is incredible. My whole family knows I'm into Star Wars, so they always get me like a mug or a shirt or whatever.
Yeah. So. That's all we need.
Yeah, we just need little tiny things. And
yeah.
I mean, you got your coin, right? Your Echo-based coin? Right there. Dude, isn't that thing so much heavier than you'd think?
I honestly, when I received it, because I picked it up and I was like, who is this person? And I was like, oh, Deborah Young. Oh my God, that's Mama Bear.
Yep.
I don't know why I was expecting to see an envelope that said Mama Bear on it, but
yeah.
Oh my God, this is my coin.
She has a name.
Yeah, I pulled it open and I was doing the like the Pirates of the Caribbean, flipping it between my fingers, like grab it. It's so cool, man. I really want to do something like that for my channel because it's so cool.
I would agree with that. Incarnation of Star Wars passion. Yeah,
like Palpatine created me from the midichlorians and in Shmi's body.
Yep, it's just like George Lucas's like sweat equity in the company just formulated you.
Maybe. My mom might have something to say about that.
I totally get you, Solonic. Just, the thing I love about Xwing is he's like super kid in a candy store when he's talking about this kind of stuff. But at the same time, he puts up like a professional attitude. I know you wouldn't agree with that. You'd say you're not professional. But
no. Dude, are you kidding me?
I don't know. It's just the way you approach everything is, especially for being such a new channel, is really impressive.
I said it to Kat. I feel like a Labrador in a room full of tennis balls.
Yes.
Pretty much just like a kid in a candy store, but more like a Labrador in a room full of tennis balls because I'm looking everywhere like, oh my God, what am I going to do?
Yep. You ever had like a golden retriever or a lab and just give them like a bunch of toys at the same time? They don't know what to do.
So I've never owned one. I have a husky, but I mean, same principle. You throw a bunch of toys in front of him and he's like,
yeah, I got to do something.
Yeah. That's what I feel like. And I think that's what's so awesome about, this community, the cross pollination that we have.
Yep.
People keep saying like, "Will you hop on my stream?" Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
And then somebody else is like, "Do you want to hop on my stream?"
About Star Wars? Like, absolutely.
I mean, I said it when I was in Theory Stream the first time I was on. Dark Chalk, or it might have been the second time. Dark Chalka was like, "Hey, would you want to come on and talk about collecting?" Which never happened, by the way.
Yeah.
But I said it. I was like, "Look, I don't really like what I do for a living, but I do it because it pays the bills. But if I had the chance to sit and talk to people about Star Wars all day, I would absolutely do it."
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with that. Line of work I'm in right now is I'm in house flipping and home renovation stuff.
Tough work.
And I enjoy it. I actually like the work. So the physically what I'm doing is not a bother to me. But it's not what I want to do for the whole rest of my life as a long-term career. But if I could talk about Star Wars, I absolutely would.
Let's get there, buddy.
So yes, we will. Rising tide.
Amen.
All right. Is there any hot topics on your mind in regard to Star Wars that you want to talk about? I know the whole Disney, Kathleen Kennedy, and also talking about the Bad Batch is like beaten to death by this point. But is there anything else that you've been thinking about personally? About Star Wars?
To a degree, yeah. The Kathleen Kennedy thing has been beaten to death, but in the wrong way. I think it's been beaten to death in the way that people are just saying like F her, F what she does. She's the reason Star Wars is ruined and all this different stuff. But I don't think people take the time to look at something from 30,000 feet and really look at the whole picture. And one of my favorite things to do, because, I'm not a news channel. I like to talk about Star Wars news because who wouldn't, if you're in a gossip group with people and oh my God, Jeff is, banging Kathy or whatever, people are going to talk about it. So when it comes to Kathleen Kennedy and all that crud that we have beaten to a pulp, there is a progress that I think that we're seeing behind the scenes that absolutely. People really they're not really taking notice of because it's not directly saying Kathleen Kennedy involved with it. I think it's more steps like this is now at the front of the page and this is what we're talking about is more of the signals that are going to say what's actually happening in Star Wars as opposed to Kathleen Kennedy got fired by Mike Zero. It's really the end of it,
Exactly.
That's just not and that's not how Hollywood works. So yeah, there's a discussion there, but like you said, it's been beaten to death. If you want to listen to somebody smarter talk about it, go check out Doomcock and Cameron Pasha and those guys talk about that kind of stuff. They're way better at it than I am. But forefront of my mind for sure is definitely Mark Hamill is back in the spotlight in Star Wars news, which is huge. And some stuff that's going on with Kenobi that's really giving me, because I was a big time, an obsession will call me negative. I was negative. I'm just nervous. That's all it was. I'm just nervous about it. And I think we've all earned the right as fans to be nervous about something so monumental as Kenobi,
Yep, absolutely. And this is going to tie into something that we'll talk about a little bit later about should Disney stick to making things that are completely canon, or should they just make content and we, the fans, get to pick and choose what we perceive to be canon for ourselves. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But Star Wars Obsession says Mando Season 3 is in production. Yes, Echo Base Network just went live on their channel. And,
I commented, I'm like, I'm sorry, I couldn't be there.
No, we'll hop over there if they're still doing their thing. We're not going to go too long.
Yeah.
But yes, that is some news. Anthony YouTube fan says the Star Wars Obsession. Yes, how cool is that? I hope the house is finally completely in order and that the things are being set right. I hope Gina has been contacted by John and Dave. I absolutely hope that is the case as well.
She has. She's been contacted, and I think right now it's been stated that the big win isn't going to get her back into Star Wars right now. The big win is just going to get her in the office even talking about it.
Yep, absolutely. Solonic says, my sequel is Heir to the Empire, and no one can take that from me. I completely agree with that. Headcanon is the best canon.
You know what I always say about comments? You have to read them as written.
My sequel... Oh, how did I mess it up? No one can take that from me.
My sequel is Heir to the Empire.
And no one can't take that from me. And then he corrected it, but left the Empire.
Je suis désolé, mon ami. Désolé.
Impéré.
You impéré.
Okay.
Sacré
Close
bleu.
I don't know any French at all. All right. Well, let's get into some what ifs, some hypothetical
Ooh.
what ifs. And there, there's a whole bunch of videos on YouTube about what ifs in Star Wars, like, oh, what if Darth Maul had been killed instead of Qui-Gon Jinn? And then there's like, a 40-minute video talking about that. This is going to be more like a little tiny thing. What if this was different? And then just some quick thoughts about
You're talking to the wrong guy for like a quick snippet on what ifs, man, but I'll do the best I can.
All right. Well, Esset Productions, he's a supplier of some of the lo-fi music that I use in my videos. Was talking with him earlier. He said, do a what if on if Anakin had stayed in the cockpit in the Naboo fighter in the hangar. Like, what if he had actually stayed there and not gone on autopilot? What do you think would have happened in episode 1?
If he'd have...
Right, because like Qui-Gon Jinn said, stay in that cockpit.
Right.
And then like he went on autopilot and flew off. Like, what if he'd actually stayed there in the hangar?
Oh, okay. Well, I took that wrong. You're like, what if he stayed in the cockpit? I'm like, you did.
Oh, yeah.
So
that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah. So if he stayed in the cockpit and never destroyed the control ship for the droids.
Yep.
And you wanted me to make this quick? I mean, that's it's funny because that's not one that I've never even thought of that as like a what if scenario, because now you have to implicate the Gungans and what happens in Naboo. You have to implicate basically Amidala staying secured, and you know what? It would derail everything. It would absolutely derail everything.
Completely. The smallest little detail, because everyone wants to talk about, oh, what if he was trained by so-and-so, or what if this Jedi was killed, but like such a small little detail. What if the ship stayed there?
Yeah.
And like
what if R2 got blown up by the lasers as he was hitting the blockade? Like every small.
What if R2D2 was shot with all the other droids on the Naboo cruiser when they were?
That's what I'm saying.
At the very beginning.
What if he got blown off? I mean, it completely. I mean, it's the butterfly effect when it comes to Star Wars, and people say it's conveniences, but I mean, that's kind of how life works.
Exactly.
Like,
yep.
What if I had never messaged Theory and said like, "Hey, I want to hop on your stream"? Like, we wouldn't be talking. I wouldn't have.
Yep.
All this stuff, every little change completely derails the future.
Yep. I wouldn't have gotten into trying live streams if I hadn't seen you do it on your channel and pop
Seriously?
on with other people. Yeah. I mean, I would have jumped on the Echo-based network streams just from my phone like I was doing, but
That's awesome.
Even inspired me to actually do some live streams, which I've never done before, never, had the confidence to do anything live. I've always...
It's the way to go. It's the way to go, honestly, just talking to people.
Absolutely. Oh, I got some comments I haven't been reading. Fixed. What if Omega is actually Boba?
Get out of here.
Trilogy.
He was trying to pull that crap in my stream too.
So is he saying that like the Boba Fett we see in the original trilogy where he has the helmet on the entire time, what if that is Omega?
I can say one thing that will destroy that immediately.
Is it when he talks?
No. Why? So if Omega was Boba Fett in the original trilogy, who fell in the Sarlacc pit?
Because he did lose the armor and he did pop up as confirmed Boba Fett in Mandalorian. Yep.
Yeah.
You're right.
What if Qui-Gon never met Jar Jar? We would have skipped probably about 45 minutes of expose we didn't need. And
the ability to speak does not make you intelligent.
Yeah, it's like my favorite line from the prequels, man. And it basically highlights about 40% of the people I meet. Yeah, just don't. They're like, hey, what if Palpatine had like sex with Padme? What do you think about that? I'm like, I don't think I'm going to put that in my live stream.
Good what if. That's I
don't think. And I'm not saying that about Solonic, by the way. I'm not saying that about you. I'm just saying.
That is funny. If you guys watching have any what ifs, go ahead and put those down below, and we'll answer them while we're still on this segment. Xwing, do you have any what ifs to propose to me? Just like simple stuff or whatever?
I think some of the more interesting ones are like, what if Anakin stayed where he was when Mace went to go confront Palpatine?
Mm-hmm.
Because he was kind of, that still kind of stays within the time.
Right. It's just a little tiny simple decision that he would have had to make.
Right. He would have stayed. Palpatine would have been killed, but would he come back? Would he be something else? Who knows? Would Anakin still turn to the dark side even though Palpatine was dead? Would it be just a different version of Vader and he would continue his master's bidding even though, you know?
I think he would have still turned to the dark side. I don't know if it would have been as quickly, but he would have. Right. He was getting disillusioned with the Jedi Order. We see that in Clone Wars, and we see that in Revenge of the Sith, and he just wasn't, in line with the Jedi Order. Right. And so he probably would have parted ways with the Jedi Order, especially after what they did to Ahsoka, and just said, I don't, not to say that he would commit fully to the dark side, but I don't want to be associated with the Jedi Order. You guys are, you've lost sight of what you believe in. I don't want to be associated with that. And then he would just go kind of set his own course, but kind of like Ahsoka did. But unlike Ahsoka, he would have, gone toward the dark side as he kind of felt free from the restrictions of the Jedi Order.
I feel like he would have been almost like a Terran Malicos type.
I don't know how that is.
So Terran Malicos is one of the bad guys from Jedi Fallen Order.
Mm-hmm.
He's a fallen Jedi. Kind of imagine
I didn't
just like
play
a
Fallen Order.
Oh, what?
I should. I don't have anything to play on. I don't play video games except for.
I'll freaking buy it for you, man. Like, yeah, you got it. It's a great story. It's a really good Star Wars story. But imagine just like basically Qui-Gon Jinn, but turned to the dark side is basically, but so disillusioned with what he believes that he's like inconsolable. You just can't, like, there's no reasoning with him anymore. Right. He's been so corrupted by the dark side. And at that point, he's already lost Padme. He's already lost his mom. He's basically now just like a conduit for the dark side.
Right. Interesting. So what if Anakin wasn't a slave?
Nothing would have happened.
Yeah. Probably they would have had no idea that he was there because he would have been just living his life. If he was just a regular citizen on Tatooine, he
like the little Rodian boy or anybody else is just,
Yeah, he wouldn't have been racing probably.
Yeah,
he wouldn't have had a need to be free because that's the whole reason he did the pod races was because that's how he felt
and he
free.
Probably wouldn't have learned everything that he learned when it came to building droids and everything working in the slave shop. So it's a very necessary evil.
Yep, absolutely. I agree with that. All right. Jar Jar wouldn't have been in the Senate, therefore Palpatine wouldn't have become the Emperor.
Yeah.
Palpatine had his fingers in everything. That's literally what Palpatine means. Palpate, means to get your fingers on. Jar Jar was just the tool that Palpatine happened to be used. If Jar Jar wasn't there, Palpatine would have manipulated other people.
Well, I would argue almost that Naboo was really the... what's the word I'm looking for? Not the fulcrum. It's the give me a lever and a blank long enough and I could move the world. I think it is fulcrum. Yeah. I mean, everything hinged on
I know
Naboo.
what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. Everything hinged on Naboo. That was everything because that was the spark that basically lit the entire war, you know, was Naboo. And if Jar Jar had never happened, I don't think he made that big of a difference in the Senate.
No, he was just a tool, just being used. Palpatine would have found someone else.
Tool. He's definitely a tool for sure. I think the part I always think when I think about like Jar Jar Binks and I think about him being a senator is how accepting. What were the diversity requirements for the Senate to like let a very, very unintelligent like amphibian in as a galactic senator? Because there is no point that he does anything that qualifies him to be a senator,
right?
At all.
Which actually lends credence to the Darth Jar Jar theory. You ever seen those videos, like the in-depth dives about how he like moves his fingers to make people talk and stuff? Those are pretty funny. All right, what if Anakin didn't kill Dooku?
That's a good one.
On one hand, I think that nothing really would be different because he would just be
I
taken
agree.
into custody and it would have proceeded the rest of the way like it normally did. But on the other hand, could Dooku have spilled the beans like he almost did with Obi-Wan?
So I don't think so. I don't think he would, because I think he would still be trying to be like a part of the master plan and would just assume that when stuff blew over, Palpatine would pull him out.
Yeah.
He'd get him out of prison. But if he blew it and spilled the beans, Palpatine would eventually just
Kill him. Yeah, he was dead anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, and on top of that, I believe that Dooku had the honor to not spill the beans. You know, Dooku was really ruled by honor and professionalism and stuff. And I just actually listened to the audiobook for Dooku Jedi Lost, which was really good.
That's the one I haven't done yet.
Oh, it's good. It's an audio drama. Yeah, it's an audio drama. On Audible is the one I did, and it's pretty interesting.
Forgive me, just 1 second.
Yep, no problem. I kicked him out. All right, let's see. He wouldn't need to be a Jedi and would have a happy life. Yeah, for Anakin on Tatooine, I'm assuming you're talking about. I like Darth Jar Jar. It's a very interesting theory, and I wish that we had seen it play out.
Yeah, it'd be fun. So that'd be a fun one for like a bunch of Star Wars nerds in ILM and Lucasfilm to just do one of those like what ifs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that kind of goes back to what you were saying, like, oh, I don't want to go there yet, but you know what I mean? Where it's like, should Lucasfilm create just canon stuff or should they create this?
Yeah.
So we'll get into that eventually.
All right, Strike 721. Here is a sip for you. Welcome to the stream. Fellow Swinger, standing by for a sec. I'm going to sleep now, though, since it's 5:50 a.m. Have a great stream, brothers. We will see you next time.
I'll take a sip for you.
Yeah. That's not coffee.
Yes, it is.
Sure.
German coffee.
German coffee. Xwing, didn't you say in the novel Dooku almost spills before Anakin cuts his head off?
So that was the Revenge of the Sith novelization. That wasn't Dooku Jedi Lost, and he never thinks of it because we know that Dooku is so self-centered.
Yeah, that's true.
Even when he's fighting Obi-Wan and he's fighting Anakin, the only thing he's thinking is, I'm so much better than them. This is fun. This is fun. This is fun. Until they switch stances and then they start murking him. And then he's thinking about, how could I have, underestimated them? I'm Count Dooku. How could I have even missed this? And then when the sabers are held to his neck, he's thinking, everything that happened my entire life, everything that I've fought for, everything that I've positioned for, everything I've done to get myself to this place has all been a waste.
Yep.
That's what he's thinking about when he's about to get his head cut off. He's not thinking about, you have to think about, if you're about to die, somebody's got a gun to your head, you're not going to turn to the person and be like, he's the bad guy. Right. He's like, oh my God, I'm going to die. And everything I've done in my life has been for nothing.
Yep. I was completely used.
Yep. The entire time. Are the last thoughts that went through his head before it fell on the floor.
Yep.
Sorry if I spoiled that for anyone, but I mean, we kind of know how that one goes.
Yeah, and that's really actually the next book that I want to read is the novelization of Revenge of the Sith. I haven't.
It's so good.
Yeah, I bet. Have you seen, speaking of Revenge of the Sith, the 4-hour fan edit with Clone Wars mixed in?
I have not, and I think the only reason I'm kind of holding out on doing it is because I like appreciating everything by itself.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, I get that.
So it'd be cool to do because you're like, yeah, that's when that happened there, and this is when this. Oh, and it all ties together. But we already kind of know that,
right?
Obviously, and I think kind of half the fun of watching the different mediums and watching the different artists tell their stories is that we can recognize where it fits in, and we don't have to be shown that's where it fits in. If that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. What are some books that you think are must reads or listens to, I guess, if it's on Audible?
Oh, dude, Master and Apprentice is awesome.
Yeah,
So
it's on my list.
She also wrote one of the High Republic books.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember her name right now. Chat may know. I don't remember, but she wrote one of the High Republic books. I haven't read it yet. I haven't gotten into the High Republic. I went on a stream with some people who were like, just trying to build bridges. I went on with like a bunch of people who were big fans of the sequel trilogy and big fans of the High Republic, and they recommended some stuff. I still haven't gone into it yet, just because I don't want to find anything to be negative about. But also, it's a big commitment to spend 16 hours on a book and then turn around and be like, I don't like it. So it's on the list. There are just other things in front of that I want to take care of before I go there, but I will go there.
For sure.
For me, Master and Apprentice is huge because it bleeds. So it's about Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon and this huge tumultuous situation where Qui-Gon's getting an offer to join the Jedi Council. That's as far as I'll go into it because I don't want to spoil anything. But it really bleeds into the prequel trilogy as a whole.
Sweet.
So
I'll get into it. That's on my list for sure. I've heard a lot of good things about that.
Yeah, that's a really important one. Beyond that, the Darth Bane trilogy is absolutely
it's amazing.
Yeah, necessary because when it comes to the Sith and how they operate, you can't understand the Sith unless you read those books, because now you understand why the Sith are the way they are.
Yeah, exactly. I completely agree. That trilogy blew my mind, and I think as a trilogy, it's right up there with original trilogy and prequels for me personally. As a trilogy,
100%.
You could argue that maybe the story's not as good or classic or whatever, or the characters aren't as good, but as a trilogy, it was so solid.
No, I wouldn't argue that at all.
It was amazing.
Yeah, I think if another movie company was able to get a hold of that story and make, who'd be really good for it, and I say it all the time, Christopher Nolan would make a beautiful Darth Bane trilogy.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. that's my new daydream now. That's man, I love Christopher Nolan movies.
Yeah.
Absolutely. How did you think of or what do you think of Tenet?
So that's the only Nolan I haven't seen yet.
Okay.
Yeah. I got a little, so when I watched Dunkirk, I was like, it just seemed a little off for me. I'm like, well, this is a Nolan for sure, but it seems a little off.
I didn't see Dunkirk yet.
I won't ruin it for you, but I was like, this doesn't really seem, the storytelling didn't seem as tight as he usually does. And then I saw a bunch of reviews, not only from like my friends who saw it, but I also watched one of my favorite movie reviewers ever, The Critical Drinker, talk about it. I was like, this seems like an incoherent mess, and so I just kind of stayed away from it a little bit. I'm super okay with like highbrow use your brain movies. Yeah, those are the ones that I enjoy the most. But this seemed, from what I was told, to be a movie that was highbrow enough that even people who are using their brain are like, what's happening?
You're talking about Tenet, right?
Yes.
Okay. What I'll say about that is, if you watched Inception and enjoyed it the first time and understood it well enough, you'll have no problem with Tenet.
I didn't think Inception was tough to get my head wrapped around the first time.
You'll be fine with Tenet. It's no harder than Inception to understand. What I think most people had an issue with was the audio was a little iffy, and there's a debate on whether it was intentional, but sometimes you can't really hear what they're saying very well. And so
I hate that.
Yeah. So in a cheap theater with not a very good sound system, I can see how it's pretty hard to understand what they would be saying, and you'd be pretty lost. In an IMAX theater with the good quality sound system, just like a really good studio pair of headphones, you can pick out the different things that are happening, which is how the movie was intended by Christopher Nolan, was for IMAX. So those people that did see it in IMAX said that they didn't have a problem with it. At home, I watched it, on a big TV at home with surround sound and with subtitles on. I had no issue.
Subtitles are a savior when it comes to that kind of stuff, man.
Yeah.
My fiance hates subtitles. I'm like, this is a necessary evil.
Yep. Oh, my wife and I both like subtitles, so we're
I'm a subtitle guy.
Yeah. I like
some
to
people
know,
just
like,
don't do
how
it.
things are spelled, you know?
Yeah. And it helps too when sometimes you can't remember a character's name or whatever the case may be. It just it gives that little extra 10% for you to just make sure you know exactly what's going on.
Exactly. So last thing I'll say about Tenet is if
that, my friend, is highbrow humor, and I appreciate it.
So last thing I'll say about Tenet is picture Inception is Christopher Nolan's vision of a heist movie, right? If that's the case, then Tenet is Christopher Nolan's version of a spy movie.
Okay.
So it's his take on like the spy genre.
It's like a 007 Christopher Nolan movie.
Exactly. Yeah. Just way more intricate and really intricate. Like, you think Inception has little Easter eggs tied in throughout the movie. It's, it's more intense on in Tenet for future viewings.
So I don't know if you know this. I'm kind of a space guy, big space guy. When I was in college, I hated every class I have, but
I lost you. Oh, he's gone. There you is.
Dude, I told two Star Wars nerds this too. Like, for some reason, I don't know why it's been happening recently. Every 10 minutes, StreamYard's just like, take a break.
That's funny.
So I'm a space guy, and when I was in college, I hated every class I had except for astrophysics. I had this amazing teacher who just really kind of fostered my love for it. He could tell I was passionate about it, and so when Interstellar came out, I was hooked, line, sinker. I watched that movie probably 173 times. I absolutely love that movie. So when it comes to Nolan and what I think about Interstellar 100%, and obviously the Batman trilogy.
Yep. Yeah, Dark Knight blew my mind more than any movie had up until that point when I saw it first time. And then same with Inception. Just the amount of creativity that was on display in Inception was just like, why doesn't everyone make their movies like this?
Right.
This is so amazing. And actually, as a songwriter and a musician, I've incorporated a lot of the same type of stuff.
You musician?
Oh yeah, I'm working on an album right now. My first album.
What do you play?
Mostly guitar, and actually mostly vocals. I'm a singer first and foremost.
No way.
Yeah, I'm a vocalist, professional vocalist, and I'm working on my own solo album right now, and that should be done with the writing phase by the end of summer. I got like 4 more songs to iron out. And
I
then,
do a little picking and playing, so if you ever want me to...
Yes. Yeah, and I've been talking with Master Paul about doing a collaboration on something sometime.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, I was a music major at University of Nevada, Reno.
Okay.
That was my shtick. My brother was an opera singer in Germany for many, many, many years, so definitely a musical family. That's
nice.
Awesome.
What was I even talking about with with the music? Oh yeah, Christopher Nolan. So with my album, it's a concept album. The overarching theme throughout the entire album. The songs transition one to another, so it plays like one giant long song. But there's so many little Easter eggs throughout,
like a
the
very Pink Floyd kind of deal.
Yeah, just way more intricate with the lyrics and the little melodies that pop up over and over again. As an example, there's one of the lines in the song is I might not last through the night. In one of the songs, that's referring to suicide. That's what that song's dealing with. I might not last through the night. That's pretty obvious what the meaning is in that song. Later in the album, he uses that same line, I might not last through the night. But in that context, the character of the song is worried about, he'll wake up one day and just be on autopilot for the rest of his life. Go to work, come home, go to bed, wake up, go to work, come home, and just not living for the rest of your life. And so that line, the same line, but in that song, I might not last through the night, is a reference to me, the consciously living person that I am, might wake up one day and just be a shell, you know. So same line.
So basically, my life before I started this YouTube. Yeah, for sure. No, that's
Possibly.
for sure something. I mean, like, yeah, I think that's something that a lot of people can definitely identify with.
Yeah. So. And that's just an example. One example. I've got like probably at least 50 Easter eggs like that between all the songs that I've written so far of little connected things. And
well, we look forward to it.
Yeah. One of my songs is up on my channel from like 2 years ago. I got to redo it. My voice sounds like a baby in that video. It's totally different sounding now.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll send you the link. You can check it out. All right, let's. I don't know how much longer you want to stay here and chill,
dude. You got me ball and chain, bro. I'm hanging out until we're done.
All right. Well, next segment: should headcanon rule all canon? What I mean by that is, should Disney just make stuff? Kind of like Visions is coming out, and that's not canon. It's just Star Wars. And if people want to incorporate that into their personal headcanon, awesome, more power to them. A lot of people, I think it was Solonic said earlier, said that Heir to the Empire is his canon sequel. And, should headcanon rule above what Disney says is canon? And should Disney just make stuff and we decide what we like?
I think the answer to that is kind of inconsequential, and it depends on the person.
Mm-hmm.
To me, headcanon rules, yeah, for sure. I know exactly what my Star Wars is, and I think a lot of people feel that way. But in the end, I think really the most important part is that they make stuff. Boy, how do you
consistent with the Star Wars universe?
Yeah, I think really the most important part is that we continue the vision of George Lucas, which should be the priority.
Yeah.
Because it's his universe. Everything, the entire reason we're here is because George Lucas made this up in his brain and we watched it.
Yeah.
So if that's not your first priority, I don't think you should be making Star Wars.
Right.
That's just my idea. And then from there, I think, yeah, you can definitely branch out and start to explore other people's kind of like take on it and stuff like that. That's why like Visions is in my book. I'm like, yeah, I'm not an anime guy at all, but super cool. If you want to do that, do it, make it awesome for shout, like have fun with it. Yeah. I mean,
I'll check it out. I'm interested.
Everything that we're talking about is not canon in Star Wars. You know, we're just having fun with it. So I think that's important. But when it comes to the big releases, stuff like Kenobi, when we talk about the sequel trilogy, when we talk about these really important events, they need to be handled with the utmost respect.
Yeah.
It's like carrying George Lucas's body in a freaking funeral.
Right.
You don't just like, well, I don't know. I mean, we could turn him upside down and shake him in the casket a little bit if you want.
Let's give him a mohawk.
Yeah, whatever. Like, give him purple hair. I don't give a fuck. Like, you need to be careful about that kind of stuff and realize, and something I think they were tone deaf to a little bit in Lucasfilm when they purchased it, when Disney purchased when they purchased Star Wars, let's just call it that. They were like, bam, cash cow. Doesn't matter what we do. Exactly. We're going to do something and we're going to get money. And the fans are like, I don't think you understand what Star Wars is.
Yeah.
And I think they learned that lesson and they lost a lot of money learning it. And they are just now finding their baby legs and trying to come back and understand exactly what it is that we, my friends, everybody that I know have known for, 50 years.
Right.
This is a legacy. This is something that needs to be treated with respect.
Yeah. And I think this was Echo Base Network last night on their stream that was talking about Disney bought Star Wars and they assumed anything with the Star Wars name would make them money.
Yeah.
And they didn't really have to pay attention to whatever. They make it look flashy, which is why they hired.
We'll decanonize the EU, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. It does. No one cares about those old 20-year-old books and stuff. And I think what they were talking about last night is Marvel's making the same mistake now. People love Marvel. You know, Endgame was one of the most popular movies ever. Let's just make more Marvel stuff and they'll like it. And no, people don't want that. They want the characters. They want the story.
Right.
They want what is supposed to fit in the story. And someone on my last stream asked me a question of what do you think of gatekeeping in Lucasfilm, you know, keeping out people with woke ideologies. And I don't go along with the woke stuff. You probably figure that I'm pretty conservative with my beliefs. But I don't care what your beliefs are. I don't care even if you're a transgender person or whatever. I don't care what you are. If you have a passion for Star Wars and you will make Star Wars, I don't care. If you're trying to, let's insert this. Well, why is that in Star Wars? Why are you pushing that into Star Wars?
Right.
You're not making Star Wars at that point. You're making your version of Star Wars. So I think as long as we hold Star Wars as the forefront, then, you know, it doesn't matter what else because it's going to fit into that Star Wars universe.
And we have to be careful too, because it's a double-edged sword. So like we said about Visions, like, okay, that's cool. That's your take on Star Wars. Great.
Right.
So what is the difference between a Japanese animator wanting to make Star Wars and a transgender 22-year-old kid with a blue mohawk that wants to see their vision of Star Wars?
Right.
Totally fine. Still totally fine. Do it. But the thing about real Star Wars that we know and love is that when George created the universe, and it's something that two Star Wars nerds said that I'm always going to hold on to, he created a universe and just expected you to keep up with it.
Right.
It was just a thing.
Mm-hmm.
There was no explanation behind it. It was just a thing. And so if two aliens with penises on their head like bumped together and just like started hitting them on it, you wouldn't even notice it. You wouldn't think anything about it because it's not something that's explained. It's just something that happened. And so I feel like, you know, when we talk about identity politics and stuff like that in Star Wars, the most important thing is that if you want to introduce that stuff and you want it to be a part of Star Wars, don't.
Right.
Or if you do, just do exactly what George Lucas did, where you have these alien characters who are just existing, doing stuff because that's how the universe works. It shouldn't ever be something that calls back to us. We should never see anything in Star Wars that calls to modern day politics, modern day struggles, modern day anything, because it takes us from there to here. And it immediately pulls you out of the universe. And that's the thing. That's something that I have a problem with. Right.
And it's the same thing as if Star Wars was made in the 60s and they had a lot of, you know, let's say black actors and they all played like slaves or something. That would be a call to that time period in America. But that's not what Star Wars should be. You know, Star Wars should be a galaxy far, far away, not let's make a movie based on our world.
Yeah. So. It's timeless.
Yep.
And that's why we love it. And that's why it's been successful. And there are no bones about it. We know that's exactly why it was successful.
Right.
And so for somebody to be as tone deaf as they were to not realize that that's why we love it. And look, it's no small feat creating a timeless story. That's not a small thing, but maybe give your writers, give everybody enough time to do that. But they just wanted to push those movies out quick, get them out fast, get us. We need to start seeing some money back on the $4 billion that we just dropped on this thing. And instead of taking the time to do it, they wanted the money back quick, and they ended up losing money for it.
Right.
And it sucks. It sucks to turn around as a Star Wars fan and look at it like a business, but that's what it is. That's what it is.
I just feel like they didn't respect Star Wars at all. They were so they're so consumed with let's make something fun and there he is again. I'll just keep talking. They were so consumed about making money and, you know, this is our Star Wars now and we're going to take over, that they didn't pay attention.
Sorry, go ahead.
You keep popping out. I was just saying they were so concerned about making their Star Wars and making money and we own this now. Let's do what we want. That they didn't care for, let the past die. Kill it if you have to. Well, You did it. I just realized the old Star Wars nerd. Here's a sip for you. I don't know if I gave you one. All right. Well, that is kind of wraps that up. Should headcanon rule all canon? Some good discussion there. Let's see what we have next.
I could talk about that until 6 in the morning.
What is the future of the Star Wars community?
Xwing! No, I'm just kidding. That's a good question.
Because I feel like it's changing. I feel like it's, I haven't been a Star Wars fan, at least a serious Star Wars fan for that long. But I would imagine before really, Discord and Facebook groups and YouTube streaming and stuff, it was just, conventions, and there wasn't a lot of discussion between groups of Star Wars people except at those conventions. And now, it's live streams, it's us, it's Discord, it's not really so much of the forums anymore.
Yeah, and a lot of us cut our teeth on that stuff, the forums, and you don't. It's cool because somebody by their username or whatever. I'm like, oh hey, it's friggin' Luke Saber 14. I love this guy. It's cool talking to him and stuff like that. But there has been a paradigm shift in how we communicate with each other, which has been really bad for Disney Lucasfilm, actually, with all of us voicing our opinions. But the future for me, I think, is brighter than it's ever been, because we're seeing now a shift in Star Wars where it's starting to take an upturn, I think, hopefully, in my opinion. And the hype has never been bigger, because now Star Wars is no longer just a realm for sweaties to like sit around, talk about stuff. It's become mainstream. It's 100% mainstream. People who would never be caught dead wearing a Star Wars shirt now have a baby Grogu on their purse, and they're walking around talking about the Razor
Grogu
Crest
backpacks and stuff.
Yeah. So it's made this awesome turn to where, now it's mainstream. I think it's going to make a shift again, kind of back down a little bit into the sweaties.
Yeah.
Which I'm totally okay with, by the way. I'm cool talking with sweaties, because I think if I said half the crap that I say to people, they just go dead eye and they're like, oh, what the fuck? What do you mean there's like 6 Star Wars movies before a Mandalorian?
Right.
No, notice how I said 6. 7. I'll call Rogue One in there.
I will add Rogue One to my headcanon every day. I love that movie.
For sure. But no, it's cool. I think the future is bright. And I think if I didn't think it was bright, I wouldn't have done this. I wouldn't have started the YouTube. I would have stayed in my own little this world and just kind of kept it the way it is, So
all right, I got some chats to catch up on. Gogo13 says the future looks so bright, I gotta wear shades. And he also says Visions, in my opinion, will most likely be the coolest. That very well may be, and that's kind of what I was getting at. That's a highlight my chats. Yeah,
highlight your chats.
That one too.
There you go.
Yes. Yeah, that's kind of what I was talking about with headcanon. If they just make stuff and not really call it canon, but if it's super cool, we can like it. And that's why I'm kind of over the hating of the sequel trilogy. I obviously hate the sequel trilogy, as most of us do, but I don't go out of my way to say that anymore, because I think it's been said way too much. I just don't count it as Star Wars personally. I'm not going to go out there and say like, oh, erase the sequel trilogy. I'm not really about that.
Kidding.
Yeah. So some people like that, but I don't know.
It's a real quick way to get famous on YouTube.
It's true. That is true. Let's see. Future's brighter than it has ever been. I love hearing that. Not many like that around here these days. Yeah. Not a lot of people are super optimistic, but we need more of that.
I do.
Like skateboarding in the 90s wasn't cool, but now everyone tries it.
Yeah, dude, that is a perfect analogy for Star Wars right now. Yeah, it's cool. It's Vogue. And so, dude, I'm on TikTok. You would not believe how many kids are making TikToks about Star Wars right now.
I wouldn't know.
Part of me wants to be like, you don't know what you're talking about. And then the other part of me is like, hell yeah, let's go. Because the kids aren't just doing sequel trilogy stuff on TikTok. They're doing a lot of prequel and a lot of OT stuff, which for me is awesome. And I actually see a lot more of the PT and OT stuff than I do the sequel trilogy stuff, which is cool because I know that these kids on TikTok, they weren't even alive when the PT came out.
Yep.
They weren't even that was 99, 01 and 05 or 03 and 05 or something like that.
Yeah.
They weren't even, we're getting old. They weren't even alive.
Yeah.
And they're making TikToks about Star Wars and it's Padme, it's Anakin, it's Vader, it's Luke and stuff like that. You know, I rarely see stuff about Rey, Kylo Ren, anything like that. There are people that do it for sure.
It's the 8-year-olds and the people that never watched Star Wars before and they just recently started watching Marvel the last 10 years, you know.
Yeah.
Those people.
But it shows me that parents are still engaging their kids with Star Wars too, because they wouldn't know about it if they didn't tell them about it.
Yeah.
Or they watched the sequel trilogy on their own and then they were like, what else is up with Star Wars? Because that was kind of cool. And they watch the other stuff and they're like, bro, this is way better.
Yeah.
Let's build this up.
And have you noticed this push in media with, you know, like newspaper, I guess they're not even newspapers, just like online websites and stuff saying like, oh, the sequel or the prequel trilogy was hated, but now fans are coming around. Like there's a push to make it seem like everyone hated the prequels. You know, I've always loved the prequels. Wrong. But I don't know. I personally love the prequels more than the original trilogy. Some people call me crazy for that.
I don't know. There's no way I put one. Oh, boy, you gonna make me search my soul, son. I don't think I can put one in front of the other, just because I respect so heavily what was done. Yeah, and I respect so heavily what was done with the OT. Not just from storytelling or acting, but everything that went behind it. I mean, all the visionary stuff that they did with the OT.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they did it with the prequel trilogy too. That was a lot of visionary stuff. But I mean, when you really think about it, the visionary stuff that they did with the OT outweighs what the PT did 100%. But I'm a prequel baby. And I was 9 when I saw The Phantom Menace, and so my heart lies with the prequel trilogy. So I'm in like the best spot you can be as a Star Wars fan, where I love both of them equally for different reasons, and they are both at the #1 podium spot for me.
Right. Old Star Wars nerd says they try to say people didn't like Empire when it came out. I've heard that as well.
Shit.
Yeah, I've heard that. I don't know about that. Guardian Alpaca. Well, welcome to the stream. Here is a sip for you. He says, I totally agree the prequels are the best. And that's just personal for me. I'm not arguing that they're better or worse. A lot of people say, oh, well, they're really good story-wise, but I don't like the dialogue. It's cringy. I don't care. I like the cringy dialogue. Star Wars is cringy. Star Wars is cheesy. It's always been. You know,
it's a space opera.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't know. If you saw my Star Wars story video that I posted a couple days ago, I talked about the only movie I had of Star Wars growing up was Episode 1, and I watched that thing so many times, specifically with the pod race scene. I just remember sitting there, just like, I wish this was real and I could go and watch this thing and, you know, live. Like, who cares about NASCAR? Like, I want to go see a pod race.
Dude, do you remember when they put in arcades Anakin's body of the pod racer with the 2 controls?
Mm-hmm.
There was an arcade game that was literally the body of Anakin's pod racer with the 2 controls on the left and right. And I burnt that easy down. I burnt it to the ground running the Boonta Eve Classic in that damn pod racer because it was so effing cool. Yeah. And people talk about the Phantom Menace and they're like, oh, Jake Lloyd. And I'm like, did you see anything else in that movie, or were you just bitching about Jake Lloyd?
Yeah. All right. Phantom Menace is my favorite prequel trilogy because of Qui-Gon and Maul. Yeah.
Iconic.
Yeah. Started out with the prequels when I was young, so that's why I prefer it. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people my age are the same way. I watched the original trilogy first, and if you saw my Star Wars story video, I was talking about how my dad would watch the next Star Wars movie with me on my birthday every year, until I turned 13
awesome.
and we saw Revenge of the Sith. So I saw the original trilogy first, but the prequels, I knew there was a bigger world out there. And that's always been Star Wars for me, is the world. I want to feel like I'm there. I want to know what's going on. Like, bring on the politics. I want to know what's going on with the intergalactic banking clan. Like, that stuff is so intriguing to me. And I feel like that's something that Disney really missed out on. They tried to focus on the characters. They tried to focus on, the two sides of the First Order and the Rebellion, why is it still called the Rebellion? Shouldn't they be in control now? And, they missed out on the universe of Star Wars. There's so many places you could discover. And they're like, oh, well, we went to that casino planet and we did the hyperspace jumping and stuff. It's like, well, that's not what we
for
want.
me, it was like, how is the First Order here?
What happened? Yep.
We had literally the most dangerous military force in the galaxy. The Rebel Alliance literally took out the most organized army in the world. Army, Navy, whatever you want to call it. They blew up a frickin' Death Star. And just somehow
Palpatine returned.
Yeah.
He has the most punchable face I've ever seen. Poe Dameron. It's just, I don't know.
Really? He and Kylo were the only two people I liked.
No, Kylo had so much potential, but I didn't really care for him at all. I'm trying to think of any character
I liked Poe Dameron because I liked the hotshot pilot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the fact that he was just spitting in Holdo's face, I was like, yes.
I think from the very first moment I saw Force Awakens, and a lot of people say, I watched Force Awakens and it was awesome the first time, and then they came out with The Last Jedi. I never liked The Force Awakens, and from the very beginning,
I was okay with it.
No, see, for me, the very beginning scene where Poe's on his knees and Kylo's right there, and he's like, so what, am I going to talk first? You going to talk first? It just was so cheesy.
Yeah, dude,
right
that's
off
the same
the
thing
bat.
with The Last Jedi, where it's like, "Ooh, can I? Your
Your
mom, yeah." Ugh.
Yeah, just right off the bat, I'm like, that doesn't belong here.
Yeah,
like what's
that's the wrong kind of humor, because that humor existed in the original trilogy all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
It was just done more intelligently.
Yo, you got a boyfriend? You got a boyfriend?
Yeah,
like I don't know. They just, it's like going back to your parents' house after you haven't seen them for a while, and your dad's like into totally different stuff, I guess. Like, this isn't you. Like, what's going on? And after the super long wait where we hadn't had any Star Wars, we were so hyped about getting new Star Wars because finally Disney's going to make stuff. And just that as the very first scene just totally set off the tone for me for the rest of the sequel trilogy.
Feels like a breakup.
Yep.
Feels like a bad breakup.
Yeah. Or a friend you haven't seen in a long time, and then they like got all woke or something.
Yeah, and you're like, damn, like what wait, where's Jake? You're not Jake.
Yeah. Let's see. I've highlighted this. I didn't read it. I have to tell my story of standing in line with friends for 2 days waiting for the premiere of Phantom Menace. That sounds amazing.
Yeah. That actually does sound like fun, dude. I'd be camping out in the tent.
Just have that feel.
Yeah, it depends on the person, man.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
Somehow.
Yeah, somehow. How? A good question for another time.
God.
I am no Jedi, but I know the Force.
There was a 10-mile wide target, and they shot far left.
Yeah. Sequel trilogy makes sense, like TV on honeymoon not happening. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Although TV on honeymoon, I was on our honeymoon and my wife and I were sitting in the hotel room watching one of those like really cheesy like CIS shows or something, whatever.
Oh, God.
CSI. I don't know. We were just sitting there and we were like, I don't know. We were because my wife and I didn't live together before we got married. So yeah, actually, this will blow your mind. Our first kiss was on our wedding day. So our first kiss was our first kiss.
And you had TV on, bro. I would have been copulating. I would have been copulating, my friend.
Well, there was plenty of time, but I don't know. We were just so stoked to hang out with each other, you know. And I didn't have to go back to my house at the end of the night, you know.
Mrs. Xwing and I are clearly going to hell. So, what can I say?
I mean, everyone is. That's a whole nother discussion. I mean, everyone is without intervention.
Dude, we got all the old farts in the chat now. These are the guys I love talking to.
Dude, we got Daryl, the derelict here. This is a sip for you.
This is a chug for you.
All right, let's see. I gotta catch up on these. Wow,
that ain't
really went old school with the kissing. Yeah, it was. I guess to quickly tell the story, it was when I first started being interested in hanging out with my wife. I was in the mindset of I want to date to marry someone. I don't want to date to mess around because all my friends are doing that, and I see where their happiness is going. I didn't want any part of that. So called me old fashioned, but I wanted a wife. And I asked her if I would date her, or if I could date her. She said, well, I'm not really into the dating thing. And then I was like, all right, well, how can I prove it to you or whatever? And she said,
clean my house.
Well, let's not. No, she said, I don't want to do any kissing until our wedding day. I want to save that. And I said, you know what? I'm going to prove to you that you're more important than that, temporary.
Holy cow, man.
So, call me old fashioned, but that was our story. And we were dating for 7 months before I proposed. And then about a year and a half later was our wedding.
That's the right way to do it, man. I mean, everybody meets on the internet and stuff like that nowadays. Mrs. Xwing and I actually met. I'm a blacksmith. We met in a blacksmith shop. You want to talk about some 14th century stuff? We met in a blacksmith shop.
That's awesome. Yeah, we're old fashioned, I guess, in that sense. But it's been amazing. My wife is fantastic, and I'm super blessed. Even I was in another relationship at the time in high school, and I remember the first time I started hanging out with her at like some school things. I remember thinking like, wow, this is like perfect wife material. Like whoever ends up with her is going to be like super lucky. And it ended up to be me, which is awesome. But
that's good, man. I mean, look, it's the 21st century. We were born in the 1900s. I said it to Coach in Echo. I was like, dude, you'd be a solid fit for Boomer Council. Yeah, I heard that. It seems like younger and younger we're feeling older and older. Mm-hmm. I'm not even 30 yet. I've got 2 days, and I'm like, damn this younger generation and their shenanigans. I don't want to hear it.
Star Wars guys, that was a sip for you. Wow, we got 9 people watching the stream. This is awesome.
How dang, huh?
Yeah, this is so much fun. I love actually interacting with people instead of just. So anyway, guys, the thing I wanted to talk about next about the Bad Batch is So anyway, the thing I wanted to talk, just like making videos and editing them and stuff. You just have to say everything.
Oh, it's a pain in the ass. That's why I almost don't do it anymore. I'd just rather talk to people because sometimes I'll be sitting in front of a camera and I'm like, hey, what's going on, guys? It's Commander. I'm like, why are you calling yourself that? You freaking moron. Don't do that.
The late 1900s. What?
What?
That's strange.
Oh, hell no. Well, they're not
I
wrong.
don't like that.
Technically,
they're correct, but I don't like that.
Wait a minute. Wait a tick. Can I send you something? Oh,
Me?
you don't know how to do this yet.
To what?
Apparently Sam Whitwer gave a shout out to me.
Really?
Okay, hold on. Wait, I can do it. I do it myself. Hold on. I think I can do this.
Oh, I see it. That thing?
Oh, geez. Is that my
Whoa.
screen or yours?
I'm
What
just
the-
I'm sharing whatever you're sharing with me. I think you have to select it to. Hold on.
Whatever you say, Boomer. Okay, Boomer.
Hold on. Share screen with. What am I sharing with? Application window.
Are you fucking kidding me?
And the Hangar Bay community wish you a happy 30th birthday. Fantastic. You did it. You survived so many Imperial entanglements. It's very rare to see fighter pilots make their way to a 30th birthday. I mean, you have, Red Leader and Gold Leader and stuff, but
What the fuck?
they're not quite with us anymore. And we don't talk about them as much as maybe we should. Anyway, Xwing, I actually just funny enough played a bunch of squadrons tonight, and I was
What the
lamenting on
fuck?
the stream that I did how much I miss playing the Fantasy Flight Xwing game. And speaking of Xwing, there's a cool TIE fighter conversion for Xwing Alliance. I love all things Xwing, so I must love your birthday. It's the only way I can figure it. Anyway, Buster thinks you're awesome. Look cute if you think he's awesome. Sweet, awesome, good. And dude, hell yeah, good work, and your community loves you, it seems. And may the force be with you, my friend.
What the? Dude, happy birthday. Happened here. Holy cow. Dude, you're going to watch that like a million times. Holy cow. Oh my gosh.
It's fine. Everything's fine. Oh my god, everything's fine. I was just Sam Whitwer. It's fine. Oh my god. Whoa, we're good.
Dude.
Are you good? You're good, right?
I'm good.
I'm good. We're fine.
We are still alive, right? And still live. Yeah. Holy cow.
What? What?
Oh my goodness. Well, Sam, if you see this, hello.
No, bro, I'm not okay. I'm not okay. Yeah, I'm crashed. I'm fucking dude. That is like. So Sam Witwer is pretty cool. He's a cool guy. Yeah, he knows a lot about Star Wars. He was he played Star Killer, which is kind of whatever. I mean, he's kind of a cool guy. He said my name, but
holy cow, that's the big leagues. Was I a good subscriber? No, you were the best subscriber.
I think I just shit myself. Sorry, Timothy. Didn't mean to blow that up.
Lord Crit, my 500th subscriber. Here's a sip for you. Wow. Well, I'm honored that it was revealed here. I didn't know about this.
The only reason I'm not, excuse my language, the only reason I'm not fucking crying right now is because I'm in shock. I don't know if you guys know who Sam Witwer is, but
That's nuts.
The guy.
Hey, Sam, my birthday's on the 29th.
I'm so happy I could die.
This is a happy moment. Happiest moment of my life.
Bro. What?
Yeah, if I can take that clip, I'll upload it. Of your reaction to that, bleep it out for sure.
I wish, dude, god damn it. Now I wish I could go back and turn around and be like, thanks, Sam. Yeah, bro. I appreciate that.
I think that says it all.
That's cool, man. Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, you're pretty cool. I wish you could come on my stream one of these days. It's
Matt
cool.
K,
It's fun.
welcome to the stream. Here's a sip for you. I don't have any left.
I just died inside.
Oh, backup mug.
I'm not a nerd, but that just killed me.
This is a happy moment. Happiest moment of my life.
This is not my stream. I feel bad, dude. Like, this is not my stream. I'm
If you want to pop off and cry, you can.
it's not even that, dude. I'm just like, I'm from going from nobody knows who I am at all. Nobody knows who I am. I'm a dude who I spin wrenches for a living every day. Nobody cares who I am. I'm a freaking blue collar dude. Like, all I do is work on shit for a living. And in 4 months, Sam Witwer just said my name and shouted out Xwing's community. Like, no, I'm not okay. Daryl, I'm not okay. I'm not doing okay right now. I mean, no, this has been like, yeah, good
Dude,
30.
this is nuts. Wow. Wow. This is incredible. I'm stoked for you.
I'm back. So, to anybody who doesn't know, Sam Witwer is a huge hero of mine because he's a voice actor. Obviously, he was Star Killer. It's a really big thing, but he's also Darth effing Maul, which is kind of a big thing. But the reason I'm a big fan of Sam really is because he is so, they talk about quarterbacks in football where they have like the field vision. You know what I'm talking about? Where like he's just he's got the vibe when it comes to the field. He knows where to throw the ball. He knows what's to do. That's him in Star Wars. Sam Witwer knows Star Wars. And so when anybody who knows Star Wars like that even just says my name, I'm like, wee! This was yeah.
Big Red,
No,
welcome to the stream. Here's a sip for you real quick.
No, I'm not cool, bro. Not good. Not good right now. Not okay.
You
And
do
Timothy-
not have a choice.
Timothy,
No,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry that this happened here, but
Dude, this
Yeah,
I'm happy. This is like tail end of the stream, you know.
yeah, I'm just gonna go like dig a hole. I'll go die in it.
Your mind will speak for you, or it will break.
I feel like to end the stream, I should do the scream.
The scream. Canary.
So hit end broadcast and then be ready to hit the next end broadcast.
Okay.
You ready?
I don't know what's going on. What's going on?
Ready?
I'm ready.
You have to. Well, unless you want to keep going. Do we got more stuff to talk about?
It's up to you. If you're done, your brain's like fried right now.
Dude. After the community video, and then Sam Witwer, just what? No, I think I'm going to be up for like 4 more days. To be honest with you, like I am living my Star Wars dream, thanks to the people who listen to me yell at a camera.
Yeah, you're doing it.
Yeah, I feel like an idiot.
I will
Obsession,
be right back.
You did that? Was that you, Obsession? Because I feel like it was you. I have to go back and look at the comments. Yep, it was totally effing Obsession. Yeah, you did. You broke me. Dude, Sam Witwer just called out the Xwing community.
You in particular. That's nuts. Forget sweaties. We're like 4 right now. We're like 4 years old, and you just gave us like a big piece of cake.
I'm not built for this. I'm not built for this kind of stuff. You know, some people like, you know.
All right, I'm going to say this right now. If Star Wars Obsession wants to take that clip and, you know, chop that down for that reaction, make that go viral. You know, that this is your Star Wars theory.
I don't want to go viral, please. I don't want to go viral.
No,
I like what we have.
Yeah.
Not to mention that, dude. I kind of do want to see it back, though. Honestly, I just lost my shit.
Your face was pretty funny. You were just like Era 404 Xwing not found.
Dude, Sam Witwer just what? Fuck. Excuse my French. You need the echo-based network. No. Queued up.
No. No. Oh my
God, dude. I just can't even believe that just happened. I literally can't even believe that just happened. If there was one person I never thought would... Sorry. I got to stop talking about it. I'm sorry. So, I'm going to collect myself. We had a stream going there for a minute. I did. Obsession said, hey, please check your DMs. Apologies. Yeah. So, dude, this has been a great talk. I've honestly enjoyed the crap out of this. I would love to do this again. Coffee on Korriban is a good stream.
Yeah, it was. Well, it was a great stream, and then it turned into a insane stream. That wasn't planned. That wasn't in the show notes. I didn't have that written down.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a Force Ghost now.
It did. No song got copyrighted. We'll have to make our own no song.
I'm just like, when the stream ends, I'm just gonna sit there and like
just
watch
go
that
cry.
video like 1,000 times. I'm just gonna watch it over and over and over again.
Man, that's nuts, dude. Well, happy birthday.
Thank you. I was like, dude, I was thinking like, man, I want to hit 1,000 before I turn 30. And I was like, well, it's never going to happen. And that just happened. And I'm like, well, you know what? I don't need YouTube.
Dude, Maul wished you a happy birthday.
It's not even Maul. Like, dude, is Maul Star Killer? Like,
everything.
And beyond the voice acting, like, more than anything, I just respect him because he is just
so knowledgeable.
A massive Star Wars nerd. That's why I love Sam Witwer. Like, yeah, It's awesome that he was Star Killer And believe me, I played the crap out of those games. And like, it's so awesome. After that, they brought him in and he was Maul after that. But when you sit down and you watch him talk about Star Wars, like the dude knows Star Wars the way that George wants it. And he just gets it. And like, so yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a big fan. I'm kind of a big fan. Sam Witwer, whatever.
Well,
it's not a big deal.
Now you know who you need to invite on the show next.
Could you imagine?
Dude, we're going to get there. We're all going to get there. Rising tide. Rising tide. Lead the way.
I don't even know if I can go to work tomorrow. Like, my stomach hurts. I physically hurt right now. Whew. I don't even like Star Wars anyways, though. Whatever. Star Trek's pretty cool. You ever watch that? Star Trek?
I have not. I saw 2 of the new J.J. Abrams movies, and yeah, that's it.
I'm going to get off the stream and just go scream at Star Wars.
All right, well, we can call it here. I'll leave you to it.
Dude, I'm sorry, man. I didn't know that's what that was.
No, we had a great stream. I appreciate you coming on. And gotta make the coin to pay the bills. Yeah, you gotta make the dollar to buy the ticket.
Thank you for having me on. That was a really fun stream. That was dope, man. I enjoyed talking with you.
Yeah. I like picking your brain about a lot of that stuff, and we're pretty like-minded.
Like I said, I'm sorry that blew up the way it did. That was not my intention. I didn't know that was how that was going to go. But yeah, I think I need a minute.
Yeah, well, you take all the rest of your night and probably not sleeping at all.
Yeah, so
Sam
I will.
Happy birthday to you. That's nuts.
We're gonna do this again. Don't think this is the last time you're gonna see me.
Absolutely.
This is a good stream. You and I both. I think we got good vibes. So
yeah,
it'd be fun too if you were ever thinking about coming on Boomer. Might be fun to pop into Boomer Council. So
old enough, I guess.
Yeah, old folks. You can't have a mustache like that and not be a boomer.
That's true. That is true. All right.
Holy crap, holy.
To everyone watching still, here is another last final sip for you. And I really appreciate you guys all stopping by. And if you've been here since the beginning, I really, really appreciate your time. And if you guys are not subscribed to either myself or Xwing, please do. Everyone in the chat, I believe, should be. We know all you guys. But if you guys have liked this stream, then awesome. This was a lot of fun. Xwing, thank you so much for coming on. And I'm
Absolutely.
honored to be part of your birthday surprise that I didn't know was going to happen. Don't apologize for anything with the stream and stuff. It was at the tail end, and this is awesome. I'm stoked for you.
Thank you, man.
So we're going to go ahead and end it here. And everyone that's been in the chat, you guys have been awesome. And we will see you on the next Coffee on Korriban Live. And once again, I'm Timothy Allen Alenko, and I will see you wherever I happen to see you in the galaxy.